Hi guys, it's Aegis here, and today I'm so excited with uh, the news we know about the new cards this week. For example, MLB just released this week, today, Friday, um, and the skill is quite scary, I would say. So its first skill is if Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark are in your soul, he will get a crit. And if this unit is on a Vanguard circle, he will get also a 5k and a extra drive. So he can just basically, as long as you have a Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark in your soul, he will be a 18k free drive to crit standalone unit without counting any force. Which you will likely be going with force 1 because the crit is like born with it. And on a Riga circle, MLB can still get a crit. It couldn't get 5k in a drive, of course, but you can still get a crit. So you're most likely going to spam all your force 1 markers everywhere. So just keep making high pressure attacks. And the second skill will make you like force 1 even more, which is a Vanguard circle skill. When it attacks, put 2 of your Rigas into the soul, and you get 2 imaginary gift force. And it didn't say you have to put the force to your Vanguard circle, so you can basically just spam your force markers everywhere, like on a Vanguard circle, on a Riga circle, and Riga circle. You can just simply do that. So that I do think it's going to change the matter of standard a little bit, but how long will it last, we can't tell. And one thing we do need to note about this card is he get 5k. So not like the old times, he only get 2k, but now he get 5. What does that mean? It means for skills that are affecting attacks, like the power, for example, Rev 1. Rev 1 will minus 5k from Vanguard, and from there a lot of skill will be activated, because usually when your Vanguard get minus 5k, and even if you get a trigger back afterwards, your Vanguard power will still be different from the original, but this card is getting the perfect 5k. So when Rev 1 uses a skill minus MLB 5k, it will back to 13k, which is exactly the original power. So this means some of the units, like the grade 2, that can stand when your Vanguard, grade 3 Vanguard attacking, and your opponent's Vanguard is having a different power from the original power, that will be stopped, because once you minus 5k, you will be easier to hit the Vanguard, but at the same time the power is not changed at all. So that's going to hurt Refon a bit. So I do hope Aquaforce player do have some ways to get around it, or they just not going to use that minus 5k skill and try to pump their units so that they can all hit 18k somehow. But I'm not an Aquaforce player for now, so I can't give you much information about that. But looking at this MLB, even though I'm not going to play it in standard because I don't have a lot of Royal Paladin cards right now, but I'm going to upgrade my old premium deck. As you can see, I'm still using like Barco combo, I'm still using like Everett Early, I'm still using like Soul Saver, and trying to play MLB with it. So you can see like Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark. But I can see the deck on ratio will be very different, because I will be playing, of course, 4 Blaster Blade, and I need to play the Leos if I want to do multiple attacks with Blaster Blade. Also, because your MLB, when attacks, you can put 2 units in soul, which could be a Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark. Then you can just put them at the back and have a force to let your Leo to hit. by boosting with a Paco or a Flogo, so that you can call another Blaster Blade and give that power. So yeah, I do still think Leo will fit, and then of course Blaster Dark, and then the New Order and the Trumpeter. So there's already 5 types of grade 2s that you will likely going to put in the deck. So there's like 16 plus cards probably, but depend on the ratio. So when the deck is out, then I will work on it and see how I can upgrade this deck. Then you might still want to keep these, and depending if you want to keep your Baku combo, then your things will change. But I already have like a full set of PG, so I'm pretty safe. So yeah, that's basically what I need to talk about MLB. And the next card that I want to talk about is the new reveal from Silver Petal Dragon Flame, which is Black Dress, Outstanding Deity, Black. This card is designed by our one and only Obari Sensei, so looking at this art, I'm so hyped. And I do want to play it basically, not only because of the skill, but also because of the art. And the card art makes me reminds me of the Susano or Masurao in Double O, so I'm pretty hyped. So this card has 2 skills. First skill is a Vanguard Circle once per turn, causes counter +1, and 3 of your front row units get plus 10k until end of turn. And then at the end of the battle it attack, look at 7 cards from the top of the deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 card from them, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and if your opponent Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, by discarding 2 cards from hand, you write a grade 3 card other than Black itself from hand as stand, then that unit will get 10k but -1 drive until end of turn. So this allows you to do multiple attacks with your Vanguard like Great Dayusha. And his first skill is basically what Great Dayusha do when he appears on Vanguard Circle, because when you basically look at the text, what Great Dayusha does is when he appears on Vanguard Circle during the turn, all your front row 3 of your front row unit will get 10k. So basically it's the same, but instead of ride, you just need to counter blast. So since it's an active skill, Black can always give your front row 10k power, which is very helpful. And talking about different options, of course we can superior on a Great Dayusha, so that 2 sides of your front row regard will get a total of 20k plus each, because Black will just, if you counter blast 1, they will get 10k, and then you put him on and you can still spam that power, which is okay, but you probably would like Great Dayusha to be a superior ride to also get a 10k on himself. So for me, I probably won't suggest you to ride on a Great Dayusha, but of course you can, and it's not going to be a waste. And one of the probably most ideal situation will be our Dayusha. So what good about Dayusha is he, even though you can't use his active skill because it's during the battle, but as long as your Dayusha is 35k or more, he will get a crit. So you have a force marker when you ride Black, and then you use the skill to ride on a Dayusha. Then you also get a force marker, of course, put on Vanguard Circle. Then your Dayusha is already 33k with 2 force. And don't forget Black will give your Dayusha a 10k extra, so he will just be swinging for 43k, 2 crit, 1 drive. So sometimes your opponents will need to do a lot of protecting early game, Also, like if you give them enough pressure to put them on 4 damage and swing with a black, then they will need to use like a PG to guard, and then you suddenly just place a Daiusha on it, gain a force, swing again for 43k, and which you might even get to 53k, so that can be scary sometimes. Also, in other options that we can do for now with Isaurus, because his permanent skill is during your turn, for each damage you have, this unit will get 5k. So force 1, black 10k, and assuming you have 2 or more damage, that's already a 30k plus just for Isaurus. And you also get a force marker, so that's a lot of power. There's another way that you can pressure your opponent, because you can just keep swinging, and of course you can use a force 2 if you want to ride on him, but I think most of the time we will still be using force 1, which I do think that's basically all, because of course you can still ride a Dynamo if you want to be defensive, so that make sure if you have a lot of Great Freeze in hand, you can turn them into a 10k shield. But for now, I don't think it's possibly a good choice also. And then we have like our general, but I do think he's not suitable, because he's a regular skill, so you're likely not going to like that. So for me, the main target will be Isaurus and the old Daiusha, which also make us to start thinking, what will Grand Gallop give us? Because if black is going to -1 drive, are we going to get a high power attack with guard restriction from Gallop, or we are going to get extra drive back with Gallop so that it cancel the -1 drive, which of course Isaurus can also help you out by doing so. But yeah, we can't tell, and we do see a Great Zero meta board appearing, but who knows? Maybe we will get a Great 3 meta board that is going to work well with black, but until the set release, we are not going to know yet. But just that card, just that art, is already making us very hyped. Okay, so I do have 2 more cards that I would like to talk about, which is from Premium Collection. The first one will be the Hero Deity Zenith Marduk. It is the Genesis Grade 4 from Premium Collection, and I can see quite a lot of possibilities with this card, which this total 4 cards makes me very hyped, so I decided to make this video. So what his skill is, of course you can stride it normally, but then you also get its auto skill from G Zone. When your Vanguard attacks, if your Vanguard is a Grade 3, by counter blasting 1 and Soul Blast 6, strike this unit on your Vanguard from face down as rest, so it's not a restand, and it gets the power and create that one of your hard cards already get from trigger effects this turn, and change the attacking unit from this card for this battle to this unit. So basically what it does is, when it attacks and you, for example, have this card in your G zone face down like this, so what it does is, when your Grade 3 attacks, you can counter blast 1 and Soul Blast 6 and strike on it, copy all the trigger effects you gain on your Vanguard, and attack with it. So you already have your trigger effects, and you have 15k plus. So what things that you can do is, basically quite a lot. For example, if you do use the Himiko playstyle, then you can already gain a lot of crits and power just by striding it. And that 15k plus sometimes just helps you ruin your opponent's calculation. But of course, if they see you playing Himiko, they will probably be prepared as well. But the Soul Blast 6 will be quite painful. And other one is this card actually makes our god Valkyrion playable and a lot more efficient and useful and scary in premium, because our Valkyrion will usually help you soul charge 2 or 3 or even 5 depending on what you draw for your Valkyrion skill to gain the drive. It's all Valkyrion drive will go to soul, so you at least have like 2 to 3 cards in your soul for you to soul blast, which means, for example, this is Valkyrion and this is your the new Uranus, because you have to use the new Uranus. With the old Uranus and the dragon, because their skill is the permanent skill, so as long as you strike the new units on top of it, your astral plane will be gone and your god will just be gone. So don't do that. Just the new one, Soul Blast, to open the plane for the turn so that you can have your Valkyrion stays, and make sure you still have like 3 cards in soul. Then you can just like swing with your Valkyrion, soul charge, for example, soul charge 3, and then rest 2 of your Koshiyomi units and stand your Valkyrion, and then attack with your new Uranus, then counter blast 1, soul blast 6, and strike that card on top. Then you originally are going to do twin drive, but now you're going to do triple drive, so more chances you can hit more triggers for your Valkyrion, and then your Valkyrion can swing for even higher. So that really makes the deck more playable in premium. And also this card, it didn't say if you don't use it on your first attack, this skill will be lost. What does that mean? Basically, if you are using Minifer, then what you usually do with Minifer is you attack and restand that unit, right? So from the first attack, you can gain whatever triggers you face with your twin drive, stand it, and attack, and then strike this unit on top. Keep all the crits and power you gain, or maybe something else, basically trigger effects, and you get 15k extra, and you are going to do triple drive, because you strike on top of it is something different. So yeah, that works as well. So that's already like 3 types of decks that you can have fun with premium. One is very old Minifer, it's Limit Break era. One is Himiko, is kind of new but remains in the like middle, but you can still see Himiko appearing somewhere. And then you can play your Uranus and Valkyrion, which is the newest build. So it covers like 3 different era of Genesis. So I do think this card is very, very hype. And not to forget that we can still use it for like Fenrir, even though you probably won't be getting the trigger effects copy, because you normally won't be doing any drive checks before you attack, and he cannot restand itself, but you can still do a lot of things, get prepared, and then stride on it to use the on-stride effects, and sometimes that can help you to open some combos. So there's already 4 types of deck that you can already build, which I do believe more people will have more ideas. And lastly, what I'm going to talk about is the Neo Nectar one, which is Entrancing Flower Princess Sandrine. So this card helps me a lot when I was trying to think about a Neo Nectar premium build that is not going to use any Katrina, and trying to build like with Asha. I do struggle a lot because the G era's Asha is all about copying units or bringing them out so that you can copy, but the new Asha is all about like making plant tokens, making Asha fairy tokens, all these things, right? So the deck itself is hard to mix with the G era stuff, and I do find myself quite struggle. So I do once nearly give up on thinking to make one, but then Sandrine comes out and saves me. So what her skill is basically normal stride, and then her second skill is from G-Song again. If this card is face down and you and your opponent's Vanguard are grade 3 or greater, then by counterblasting one and retire 2 plant tokens, strike this unit on your Vanguard circle, and this unit get 10k power and 1 crit until end of turn. And it's an active skill, so you can do, for example, if you have an Asha, any of the Asha, this you can just counterblast one, brings 2 tokens in, get 10k, and then somehow make your Flower Fairy tokens out, and then you will just counterblast one and kill the 2 plant tokens that you generate from the starter Asha to strike on it and get 10k and a crit. Or like if you're using this, then you just need to find yourself a way to make 2 plant tokens, which is easy. You have like Sylvia, you have sweet berries, you have so many things that can help you to get plant tokens, and you just need to snipe 2 off, destroy on it, and get crit and 10k. So this actually makes me easier to build the Asha deck, and that's one old friend that I do want to introduce you guys to, which is Sunset Mango. I do think a lot of people don't use this card at all, which I think is time to bring him back. So what his skill is, GB1, so last one, retire this unit, draw 1, and then select one of the Vanguard and one of the Regard. During this turn, your selected Vanguard power will increase by the power of that Regard, or the other Regard that you selected. So for example, you pretty strike into your Sandrine, and have a Flower Fairy token there, so I just put it like that. And then what you have to do is just call a Sunset Mango, Soul Blast 1, retire, and you draw 1 card back already. So basically you just need to Soul Charge and to Soul Blast as a cost, and then you can select, for example, your Flower Fairy tokens or something that you have a force marker on, and then that power goes to your Vanguard, and that power goes to your Flower Fairy token. So you don't need to run anti-hero at all. You just need to use some triggers. And do remember, if you are, for example, if you're using Force 1 and Sandrine already get you a crit and 10k. So for example, if this is 28, and then I get a 10k, which is 38, I get a Force 1, which is 48, 2 crits, and you might have like 3 more stand triggers in there, important stand trigger, you can just swing with your Asha Fairy token for 48k 2 crit and swing with your Vanguard, and then you suddenly, okay, I trigger check, stand trigger, stand this, power to your Vanguard, and just do another check. Then your Fire Fairy token is now 53k 2 crit still. If you get a critical trigger, it will be a 63k 2 crit. Imagine how scary that is. So I do think it's time for us to enjoy the stand triggers again, and Sunset Mango is basically your best choice. But the thing is, he need to Soul Blast 1, and your VR Asha will also need to Soul Blast 1. So how to manage your soul will be very important, and you will be using Sweet Berries to have your soul charge. But if you are like soul blasting every single turn, it won't last long. But for now, I do see the possibilities to play him again, and I'm happy because in the past, in my other G era Neo Nectar build, I at least put 1 or 2 of the Sunset Mango just because it's fun, and now I can even just spam all of them in, put 4, and if I need to break the deck trigger balance a bit, I can cut the draw PG into the bloom PG. So that's a lot of things that I can think of and play with. But the actual deck build, I'm still thinking, but some cards that we'll see in play, of course, are Sweet Berries, Pet Mini maybe, but maybe not. Anelma, of course, for sure. Both Asha, for sure. Sylvia, probably, because it's free token generation. Then, well, maybe Sarah, but I can't tell until I actually test how crazy the counter blast it will be. But I am going to make the deck and probably proxy the Sandrine and see how it works. If it works well and I'm comfortable with the test result, then I will be making the deck profile before the set release, but of course depending on how our testing goes. But yeah, so yeah, I basically cover 4 cards today, and I hope you enjoy this kind of like information or ideas sharing video, which I will probably be doing more, and I will definitely be making one until I see Tachikase and Mega Colony Grade 4 appears, because I'm really hyped for those, and I hope their skill won't disappoint me. So yeah, let's looking forward to it when news comes out and when the set release in 3 weeks. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.